All right, homework in my car again. Happy week 7. I can't believe we're almost done with the term. It's just insane. Gone so quick. So I thought this was super cool. It resonated with me because I think in pictures, like specifically in pictures, if you say picture this word, I picture that word on a piece of paper that I have seen. So it's just really, really neat. And it just means I process things differently. Like when I get started on a paper, for example, it's much harder than that. Like it's coming up with an idea to write is much more difficult than once I start writing. Once I start writing, I can see the whole thing from beginning to end, which is really neat. So because I guess my brain just kind of paints a picture of where it's going once I get started. So it's just kind of neat to recognize. And I used to think that people thought the same way I did, or that I do. And it made me think about how many conversations I may have misunderstood, or where we may have had a miscommunication because how I was describing something did not resonate with how somebody else would have seen it. It's just kind of interesting. Like my ex-husband's brother only thinks in words, which is so bizarre to me. Like he can't picture anything. And we had a really good conversation about that because we're so different. And I just never knew that people couldn't think in pictures. Like it's just weird to me. I mean, it's cool. I think we need all kinds of minds, but and I never really thought about how animals were sensory-based thinkers. It makes sense because they don't have like the verbal skills that we have and so forth, but just a thing that I never recognized. I think that in light of this video, we need to really challenge how we communicate with people based on how they might be thinking. And I think that could bridge barriers in communication and being able to work together and collaborate and develop ideas between all different kinds of minds and all different ways that people think. I love how a lot of her points were about kids in school, because I agree that we need to revamp a lot of how classes are taught. We have so many requirements. Like my daughter just graduated from high school, and I thought about all of the requirements that she had to have a well-rounded education, but that really did not play into any part of what she wanted to do as an adult. And they were just really unnecessary classes that she will never use. But I get some classes, like there's some merit to some classes build on each other. And so you have to have the basic or the lower, level of it to be able to understand the higher level of it. But it does pigeonhole kids who can't get past a certain subject. So, and I think that this relates to writing for me, not that part, that's the school part's a little bit different, but as far as this video, I think that the way that this relates to me is, like I said, it allows me to see a piece of work once it started all the way through. And so when I get on a roll, it just comes really fast, and I can knock an essay out in an hour or two if I'm given a topic to write on. But coming up with the idea initially is something that I kind of struggle with. But I also think that it's why I have so many mechanical errors in my writing, and I have to be really careful going forward and focus on making sure that I fix those before I submit papers. But so just kind of neat thinking about how all of our brains are so different and how we think about things. It's just kind of cool. So I really liked it.